Hi, good evening, or is it good morning or good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the world. And speaking of which, I'm going to be bigging up a nation for watching my channel across out of Europe. But first and foremost, I'm going to say welcome back. I'm here again. This is your host, your guy himself, DLG Reppin. That's DLG Romeo Echo Papa India November. That's how you spell Reppin after you say DLG. The link is in the link in the description is in the bottom place below, yeah? You know how it goes. Anyway, so from London, England to wherever you're watching around the world, I say good evening again. Hope you've had a great day. Well, I'm bringing you a couple of things to talk about. One, on my disgust on the Premier League and the Football Association not to punish Jordan Pickford's horrendous tackle on Liverpool and Netherlands centre-half Virgil van Dijk. How the fuck has he got away with it? It's beyond me. It's so fucking beyond me. He should not be playing the next game, the next domestic game. If it was down to me, for the time and the length of time Virgil van Dijk is not playing football in all competitions, club or country, Jordan Pickford would be banned for the same length of time until Mr. Van Dijk has recovered fully. Now, for me, it was a disgusting tackle. How much premeditation was that in? Was in that? How much premeditation was in that? Quite a lot of it. It's disgusting. Completely despicable. Fucking despicable for me. How can you tell me that was it wasn't just mistimed. It was horrendous and malice. The malice was on that tackle was beyond me. He's got away with putting out a player for possibly 7 to 8 months of his career here. He's 29 years of age, and the last thing you would like is to miss 7, 8 months of his career not playing football because of a horrific tackle. Yes, I understand it's a Merseyside derby. Yes, I understand bragging rights are on the line. And yes, it's going to be played with intensity. But for me, that is a complete reckless assault. And I agree with Graham Souness and some of the points that he made on the tackle. You know, him making bad tackles back in the 70s, 80s. The tackles that he got away with today, he will not get away with in this today's football. I'll tell you that now. That should have been reviewed as. Didn't the referee go over to the monitor and have a look at that tackle? Yes, Van Dijk was in an offside position, just offside when he received the ball, but that don't excuse the tackle. It was disgusting. It's a fucking shambles, the rules. The whole system with Stockley Park is a fucking shambles. And whoever is in charge here needs to fucking consider their resignation. Seriously. At that tackle at its most. That was even worse than Richarlison's tackle on Thiago Alcatra. And me being an Arsenal fan, yeah, Aubameyang went in one-footed on Max Meyer. And yes, it was a red card. And yes, Aubameyang could have avoided going in that way, showing studs. He didn't even need to go in at that time. All we need to do is go and close the ball down. You know, when you're putting pressure on your opponent on the ball, you know, you go in, put the pressure on, and, you know, just give him, you know, half a yard. He's going to pass that ball. But in this situation with Jordan Pickford on Van Dijk, he's putting pressure on, but he could have avoided having to put his studs into his kneecaps. That's ACL, and that's how painful that must be. Van Dijk was in agony. He is lucky that he hasn't broken Van Dijk's leg completely, because that is a complete proper leg breaker. And the more I watch it, the more sick I get. I'll tell you something, yeah. There's something for Jordan Pickford, you know, and that's karma. And karma is a bitch. Whatever happens to Jordan Pickford, you know, it will come back to haunt him. You know, it will come back to haunt him. His teammate Richarlison got away with a little bit of, it was just as, the tackle on Thiago Alcatra was just as bad. You know, he didn't need to do that. It's not only just selfish of him, but very vindictive. You know, premeditated, borderline. And the same could be said about Jordan Pickford. Or to maybe some Liverpool fans, Jordan Pickford. But for me, that tackle by Richarlison and Alcatra is just as bad as the one on Van Dijk from Pickford. That deserves a red card. I mean, that was, well, brutal. They were both more or less assault. Both of them. That deserves a court case at the very minimum, if not a jail sentence. Because that is assault. I mean, Liverpool, Everton fans, if you got your say, if you think I'm over exaggerating, if you got your opinions, yeah, let's have a discussion. Let me hear your views and your thoughts. Leave it in my comment section below. But one thing for sure, Everton should have played with 9 men that day. Regardless, rules are rules. You know, the rules are the rules, and the referee did not do his job properly. I personally think it is a combined ref and the haddock in Stockley Park who failed to do a proper job when called upon. And that proper job was to award the offside, but you failed to send off Jordan Pickford because you were scared of spoiling a Merseyside derby. It is not about football anymore. That was not football. That was a reckless, that was a wholehearted total calculated, premeditated, borderline assault on another professional footballer. And on Saturday or Sunday, Mr. Pickford will be in goal for the game that Everton have next. And Van Dijk will suffer 7-8 months of his career on crutches. Is that fair? I don't think it's fair. So, Mr. Virgil van Dijk and Thiago Alcatra, I wish you both a speedy recovery as healthily as possible. So moving on, before I go, I'm gonna give a shout out to my viewers in Indonesia. I have seen the percentage is only 1.3% of yous watching me in watching me in Indonesia. I thank you for taking the time out to watch my channels, my video recordings, and I hope you've enjoyed the football context that I bring for you every day of my life. It's my passion, my livelihood, and it is my joy to bring you the latest up-to-date context of what goes on in the world of football. So for you fans in Indonesia, I thank you so much. A massive shout out to you, and keep tuning in because I will be back tomorrow. Well, if not tomorrow morning, I will be back tomorrow afternoon. So again, massive shout out to you. So that concludes my context. Yet again, ladies to the gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, I say thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and thank you for putting up with me. If I can't make it tomorrow afternoon, I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. I wish you a good night. Peace, bless, and love again, and make sure you rest well as well as sleep good. I'm out of here. Good night and see you later. Nice.